I am rebuilding the Auburn Tigers and college football 25 because 2 Cheese commented on a previous video, "Can you do Auburn? We are buns." I'm putting a link to their channel in the description of this video below. Please go subscribe to their channel right now. If you want to see your name in an upcoming video and get a shout out like this, go ahead and comment down below what other teams you think I should rebuild. Give me a suggestion. I'll pick a comment and I'll make a video about it. I'm using the existing head coach of Auburn. As you can see, since 2020, they have not won more than 6 games in one season, and they've lost 7 games 3 years in a row. We're trying to turn that around. Take a quick look at the starters. We got at quarterback Peyton Thorne. He's a redshirt senior, 79 overall. I'm going to go ahead and let him play his last year. It looks like Walker White, a freshman quarterback from Little Rock, Arkansas, is potentially going to be the future. He's a 76 overall, but I am going to redshirt him this year. Hopefully he can develop and be the starter next year, maybe closer to an 80 overall as a redshirt freshman and be the starter for the rest of the season. The best player on our team is running back Jarquez Hunter. He's a senior, 90 overall. At wide receiver, we got a couple of guys that are over 80. We do have a true freshman, Cam Coleman from Phoenix City, Alabama. 6'3", 197 pounds. He's already 81 overall. He's going to be starting right away as a true freshman. Also have him starting in the slot, so he gets ample opportunities, a ton of passing attempts or catching attempts. At tight end, we have a senior, Rivaldo Fairweather, 88 overall. I mean, this team overall is not too bad. The offensive line isn't the greatest, especially at right guard, it's only a 73. Defensively, we got 89, 83, 82, 80 at D tackle, 89 outside linebacker, and we have a true freshman, DeMarcus Riddick, one of the only other freshmen that I'm gonna let play, not redshirt. He is 77 overall, playing up to a 78 as a true freshman with 85 speed. Outside linebacker is not looking good on this side. 73 for Austin Keys, redshirt senior. Cornerback, we have a couple of guys over 80. So yeah, you can see we have some room to go with this team. And we are gonna need a new, I think it's a new punter, yeah. I've done a couple of weeks of recruiting in the preseason and week 0 before we get into some real games. This wide receiver right here, well, it says he's an athlete, physical, archetype wide receiver. He's 6'6", 211 pounds. He is a 5-star gem. His name is Kevin Cobb from Burke, Virginia. But look at what this, I got him scouted. Look at this dude's rating. 6'6", 211 pounds, right? 99 speed, 93 jumping. This dude could be one of the best receivers of all time. We have a 5-star gem quarterback here, scrambling type. We are 5th on his list right now. We got a 5-star running back. We are 1st on his list. I try to go after only gems or guys that were not busts. If I could only go after gems, I would, but there's not a whole bunch of gems. I did scout like 40 guys in order to figure out what I thought were the best players to go after, and we're all in top 5 on all of them. Most of them were in the top 2, if not number 1. This schedule for Auburn is legitimately very unique. It's the real life schedule they had, obviously, besides FCS Southeast is not a real team, the UGF Pandas. But they have 5 home games in a row here when I learn how to count. Literally 5 home games and then 3 away games and then 3 home games and then 1 away game. So they only have 4 away games and 8 home games in this season. I don't know if that's ever happened before, but that doesn't seem fair to me. We are halfway through the season, 6 games in. We just got our first recruit committed. Calvin Cobb, the 5-star athlete wide receiver that I said could potentially be the best wide receiver ever. 6'6", 211 pounds, 99 speed. He's coming to Auburn, boy. We also get another 4-star wide receiver, Hugh Chestnut from Alexandria, Virginia. And we get a 4-star defensive tackle, Marcus Hurt from Sardis, Mississippi. So far through 6 games, we are 4-2. We did beat FCS Southeast by a lot. Then we lost to California and New Mexico. But we had 3 wins in a row against Arkansas, Oklahoma, and Georgia. Georgia was ranked like number 25 at the time that we beat them, 30-28. We got a bye week, and then we go against ranked Missouri, 23rd ranked. Here was an update on recruiting at the midseason point. We did lose out on this 5-star right tackle and another 5-star right tackle. One went to Arkansas, one went to OU, and there was a couple other guys that we lost out on while I was getting to week 6. It was a 5-star quarterback that was a gem. He decided to go somewhere else, and someone else, I don't remember who it was. but we are targeting heavily other players, and we are in first place on every single person except for a few of these guys down here actually just added to the board. So we were already second on this guy, and I just scheduled a visit for him I think last week. Tobias Littlejohn, that's a hell of a name. Shoemaker, Anger, Valdez. So all these guys, we're actually still in the contention for a 5-star cornerback. I have him 100% scouted. He's not a gem, but he does look pretty good. So I just dropped 60 on him. He'll be able to make a pretty big leap going forward. We are on the last week of the regular season. I don't know if we beat Alabama or not, but our true freshman wide receiver Cam Coleman had an insane game against Alabama. 8 catches, 158 yards, and 4 tutties. Is that good enough for the national? Nope, only the SEC conference one. We finished the season 7-5, not ranked in the top 25. We did lose to Alabama 52-35. Alabama's ranked number 3. They went 11-1 on the season. Look at the stats on this game. Thorne had 149 rating, 250 yards, 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Russian Alston had a decent game, 14 carries, 100 yards, 1 touchdown. We saw that Coleman had a crazy game, man. Still can't believe they didn't win the National Player of the Week award. Just because they lost? I don't know. We had 1 sack, no interceptions. First year of the rebuild, we made it to a bowl game, the Cheez-It Citrus Bowl against the Texas A&M Aggies. It's early National Signing Day, and we have the #1 ranked recruiting class in the country. We have 18 total commits, 7 5-stars. I was getting 5-stars like crazy, man. 10 4-stars and 1 3-star. Miami is in second place with 29 recruits, so they're already almost maxed out to the 35. We still have a long ways to go. We're going to add to this total 255 points. We did beat Texas A&M in the Cheez-It Citrus Bowl. The final score of the game was 31-14, with us getting the dub. Thorne had a 140 rating, 220 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, 65% completion. Running back Hunter, 17 carries, 98 yards, no touchdowns. Receiving, Lambert Smith had 5 for 50 with 2 touchdowns, and the tight end Fairweather had 1 touchdown catch. True freshman Cam Coleman had 6 for 58, no touchdowns. Defensively, Caleb Wooden, the safety, had 11 tackles, leading the team by far. Did have 4 sacks here. Dorian Mausi, Keldrick Falk, Philip Bleedy, and Eugene Asante. Here are the final season stats from year 1. At quarterback, Peyton Thorne had 3,100 yards passing, 36 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, 60% completion with the 139 rating. Not a terrible season, but not awesome. Running back Jarquez Hunter had 897 yards, 5.8 per carry with 6 touchdowns. Backup running back had 4 rushing touchdowns. Receiving, the true freshman wide receiver Cam Coleman, 78 catches, 979 yards. Both led the team with 16 touchdowns. That is a monster season from a true freshman wide receiver. Lewis had 700 yards with 7 touchdowns. Lambert Smith had 500 yards with 7 touchdowns. Tight end Rivaldo Fairweather had 400 yards with 4 touchdowns. Pretty much expecting, I guess, Rivaldo Fairweather, the tight end, I expect him to get drafted for sure. And also the running back Jarquez Hunter. They're both seniors. They're both highly rated. Defensively, Dorian Mausi had 71 tackles, led the team by a lot. Tackles for loss, Keldrick Falk had 10. He's already 85 overall as a sophomore. We got a ton of sacks, man. This Auburn defense looks nasty. 10.5 sacks for Keldrick Falk as a sophomore, and 10 sacks for Jalen McLeod as a senior. 9 sacks for Eugene Asante as a senior. Interceptions, we have 4 guys getting 2, including Jaron Thompson, Keontae Scott, Kayan Lee, Antonio Kite, and then Eugene Asante, Caleb Wooden, and Austin Keys all have 1 interception. We only had 1 first team All-American for the National, and that's true freshman Cam Coleman. Second team, nobody at all. And then obviously Cam Coleman's going to make the freshman one if he's on the first team national one. 2024 college football playoff bracket. Clemson beats Oregon 35-32 to become the national champions. Looking at players leaving, we don't have anyone that wants to transfer out. We do have 2 seniors that are projected to get drafted, and it's both guys that I figured. Jarquez Hunter, the running back, is projected to go in the 4th round, and then Rivaldo Fairweather, the tight end, projected to go in the 6th round. We actually ended up having 3 players getting drafted. Jarquez Hunter went in the 3rd round. Tight end Rivaldo Fairweather went in the 6th round, and Eugene Asante had 10 sacks. went in the 6th round, outside linebacker. We have a ton of interest in the transfer portal. Other players wanting to come to our team. I'm only going after 3 though. It's going to be a 5-star cornerback, Ricardo Hallman from Wisconsin, a 4-star cornerback, Nyland Green from Purdue, and another 4-star cornerback, Jonquez Hardaway from Kentucky. The Hardaway is a junior, Hallman is a junior, and who was the other guy? Oh, Nyland Green. He was a junior also. It's National Signing Day. We did finish the first season of recruiting with the #1 recruiting class in the country with Auburn. 35 total commits, 7 5-stars, the most by far. We got 15 4-stars and 13 3-stars with 265 points. That's 11 points more than what Georgia had. That was the #2 class with 31 players. Now we can officially see the depth traits of our recruiting class. That 5-star gym athlete, Calvin Cobb, I want to say Kevin Cobb, 99 speed, 6'6", 200 pounds, has an elite depth trait. Love to see that. We got star for this 4-star wide receiver. That's a gym. Elite for this 5-star gym defensive end. That's a speed rusher. Star dev for this 5-star defensive end. Star dev for this 5-star outside linebacker. We got a good amount of stars. There's another elite 4-star gym safety with 97 speed and 81 zone coverage. Star dev for this 5-star safety. Elite dev for this 4-star center. We definitely need some help at the offensive line, that's for sure. Any other? We got a star dev 4-star gym wide receiver. Physical, 6'2". Speed is 93. Spectacular catch 89. Anybody else? We got a star dev 4-star transfer cornerback, Jonquez Hardaway. Elite dev for this 4-star running back. This 5-star gym athlete, Calvin Cobb, that's 6'6" with 99 speed. Trying to figure out position to put him at. It says that he's 74 overall as a physical wide receiver. As you can see, he has pretty good stats on basically everything. He can break tackle, he can truck, so he could be a running back. He's got a stiff arm, he's got a spin move, juke move. His catching is good, his route running is all in the high 70s. His jumping is 93. He cannot throw the ball at all, so he definitely doesn't play quarterback, which we don't need. But his play recognition 71, his tackling is 69, hit power is 76. His pursuit is 84. He can cover man coverage 76, zone coverage 76. He can kick return 85. Dude was doing everything for his team in high school. These are his overall ratings at different positions. His best position is tight end. He's a 78 overall vertical threat at 6'6", but he's only 211 pounds. So to me, that's too light for a tight end. You could play running back. Have you ever seen a 6'6" running back? I don't think I ever have. You could play safety. We know he can cover. 77 for zone, 77 for free safety and strong safety. He can play corner, 77. He can play linebacker, but I think I'm gonna just put him at wide receiver because we are gonna need that help. So he's gonna be a 74 overall wide receiver. We are officially starting season 2 of the rebuild. We have a new era at quarterback. Holden Garner is gonna be the starter. He's a redshirt junior. He has jumped up to 82 overall. I thought that Walker White could potentially be the starter, but he did not develop as much as I would like. He's still only a freshman. It's just not his time yet. Garner has better, well, his throwing power is a little bit less, but he has better accuracies by a lot, especially on deep accuracy. White's is only a 68, Garner's is an 89, and he beats him in all the other accuracies, so it's the Garner show right now. At running back, we have Jeremiah Cobb, the redshirt sophomore, 85 overall. Wide receiver, Cam Coleman had a crazy freshman year. Now he's a sophomore. He's already up to 86 overall. And then we have 4 out of the 5 remaining receivers are all freshmen or redshirt freshmen. I am going to go ahead and redshirt Calvin Cobb, that crazy athlete prospect that we saw. He's a 75 overall. There's some freshmen that are redshirts already better than him. So we're going to let him sit this year, and he should develop nicely and contribute next season. I'm going to scroll through and show everyone else pretty quickly just so y'all can get the gist. We got 85, well, at left guard, 85 redshirt freshman. That is insane. The offensive line is not the best, but it's definitely starting to get better as we go. We got Amaris Williams, a redshirt freshman at defensive end. He's already playing up to 85 overall, so the future is definitely bright. We have some young guys that are already developing really good, and they're only going to get better. Redshirt freshman at middle linebacker, Joe Phillips, has 84 speed. He's already up to a 79 overall before he's even played a snap. Cornerback, we have a couple of guys at 85, and then we have an 84. Free safety and strong safety. The schedule of the season starts at Baylor, and then we have Ball State, South Alabama, Minnesota, Missouri, Georgia, Arkansas, Kentucky, Vanderbilt, Texas A&M, Oklahoma, and we end the season against Alabama, who is currently ranked number 3. Quick look at recruiting. We're going after a ton of gym players, as many gyms as I could possibly find. I'm going after for sure. A bunch of them are 5 stars, some of them are 4 stars. We're already in first place on all of them except for 2, but we're gaining a lot on Michigan on this defensive tackle, and we're going after this quarterback. We don't necessarily need one, but he's a 5-star gem, so why wouldn't you try to go after him just to have him? And this cornerback is a 5-star gem. We are in 4th place, but we are gaining significantly each week. All these other guys, we are in 1st. We just beat Ball State for our 2nd win of the season, and freshman defensive end Amaris Williams got SEC Defensive Player of the Week with 2 sacks, 5 tackles, and 2 tackles for loss. We just got our first commit of the season, 5-star outside linebacker Ray Burfict from New Orleans, Louisiana. We got another 5-star right tackle Dalvin Wick from Norcross, Georgia. Picked up another 5-star wide receiver George Ezukanma from Bradenton, Florida. 4-star running back Alex Stewart from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. 4-star strong safety Miles Rome from Richmond Hill, Georgia. 5-star left tackle Manu Bacon from Elmhurst, Illinois. Hell of a name for offensive lineman, Bacon. 4-star defensive tackle Damian Pettis from Oxford, Mississippi. We got another 5-star defensive tackle Lorenzo Chamberlain from Springfield, Illinois. The 5 stars just keep coming in. We got a 5-star defensive end Joey Havili from Westchester, Ohio. We're halfway through the season, 6 weeks in. We are 4-2. We weren't ranked forever. We were 4-0 before we finally got ranked. We started the season with 4 wins in a row. Then we lost to Missouri in a close game, 47-42. We were ranked number 25 at that point, and then even after that game, we were still ranked 25. And we got blown out by Georgia, 63-24, and we are no longer ranked. Check out the stats of this Georgia game. Gariner went 165 rating, 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. 48% completion is not great. Damari Alston at running back, 26 yards, basically no running game at all. Cam Coleman still got his though, 3 catches, 100 yards with a tutty. Bryce Kane, freshman wide receiver, at 3 for 68 with a touchdown. Another freshman wide receiver, Perry Thompson, 2 for 67 with the touchdown. Defensively, Jonquez Hardaway led the team in tackles as a cornerback with 12 sacks. We had 4 guys get half a sack, no interceptions. Still at the midway point, 4-2. We are 2nd in the nation in recruiting. 10 total commits. We have 6 5-stars and 4 4-stars. We had the most 5 stars by a lot. We just got another 5-star wide receiver Terrence Huckabee from Cincinnati, Ohio. Since the last time I checked in, we ripped off 3 wins in a row. We beat Arkansas, we beat Kentucky, we beat Vanderbilt. We got a huge game coming up. We are 7-2. We are ranked number 10. We're going against Texas A&M, who's ranked number 9. They are 7-2. We ended up losing to Texas A&M, unfortunately, 31-14. We fall to number 19 in the country. Texas A&M jumps up to number 4. Gariner did not have a great game. 119 rating, 200 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Got sacked 3 times, 64% completion. Running game was basically non-existent. Cam Coleman had the only touchdown catch. Defensively, Robert Woodyard had the most tackles with 11, and he had the most sacks with 2. Dude is balling out as an 81 overall. Amaris Williams had 1 sack, and Keldrick Falk had 1. No interceptions. Looking at the conference standings, since we got our 3rd loss in the conference, I don't think there's any chance that we'll be able to make it to the SEC championship, even if we win our last 2 games. End of the regular season, and after we lost to Texas A&M, we did lose to Oklahoma, who is 6-6 on the year. And then we lost to Alabama 42-14. We finished the regular season 7-5, so we will be going to a bowl game, but I'm definitely disappointed. Well, it looks like we got some really bad news for the rebuild. It's coming to an end because we got fired by Auburn. despite the fact that we won more games in 2 years than they did in like the last 3 years combined. We got their first bowl win in forever last season. This season we went 7-5. We haven't even made it to the bowl game yet, but apparently they expected us to win 9 games, despite the fact that they could not win more than 6 in the last 4 seasons, and we went 8-5 and then 7-5, potentially going 8-5 again. So I don't know what the hell Auburn's thinking, man. We do have 3 head coaching job offers, but obviously I'm not going to take any. Just for fun though, we got Colorado, Oklahoma State, and UCLA, and then Ole Miss is like, yeah, we'll hire you to be our offensive coordinator. It is early National Signing Day, and we do have the #1 recruiting class in the country. So I mean, we're doing good recruiting, we're winning games. Auburn's not happy with that. They want to keep going 6-5 every year, so they're kicking us out. We're in first place by almost 20 points. This is pretty interesting. I was trying to simulate through the bowl week so that way we could see if the team won the bowl game. Apparently they didn't even get offered to go to a bowl game because we got fired or something like that. They were still 7-5, and it was all the way through the college football playoffs. So I simulated, and now it says that we are on Boston College. So I come over here, look at the coach contracts, and lo and behold, we are the head coach of the Boston College without even choosing them. It just forced us to go there. I'm still able to look at the season stats from Auburn. So they only played in 12 games. They did not go to a bowl game for whatever reason. Garner had a 3,100-yard season passing, 32 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, 63% completion with a 160 rating. I mean, that's not great, but it's not terrible either. Alston at running back only had 89 carries. What the hell? 500 yards. Cobb had 80 for 400 yards. He must have missed some games. Yeah, he was a starting running back. He only played in 7 games. That means that he was injured for what, 5 games? All right, well that makes more sense. Cam Coleman still did his thing. 65 catches, 900 yards, 12 touchdowns. Bryce Kane only had 34 catches, but 700 yards, almost 21 yards per catch with 10 touchdowns. And this receiving core has a bright future. They're all freshmen or sophomores. Crazy. Defensively, Caleb Wooden, the safety, had 73 tackles, led the team. Keldrick Falk had 7 tackles for loss, most on the team. Sacks, Amaris Williams, the freshman redshirt, had the most with 11. Keldrick Falk had 10.5. Robert Woodyard had 7.5, and Darren Reed had 5 from the defensive tackle spot. Interceptions, Caleb Wooden had 2, and then we have a bunch of guys with 1, including Woodyard, Riddick, Anthony, Hardaway, Lee, and CJ Johnson. I'd say there's nothing more that we could have done besides win more games, obviously, but we had 2 top recruiting classes in the country. We were on the track to doing a lot of good things. We had a lot of good young talent that was going to have a bright future, but we're gone. Fortunately, that's going to be it for the video. If you like what you saw, please subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, comment down below other teams that you want to see me rebuild, and I would definitely pick one and shout you out in a future video. Appreciate y'all for watching. See you in the next one.